Old School Bodybuilding Clothing Company. If it's been 3.5 hours since you last ate protein and now you're starting to freak out, you are old school. If watching someone sit on a hammer machine for 5 minutes between sets playing with their phone pisses you off, you are definitely old school. OSBBC.com for the hardest training athletes.
Dave Palumbo here with an RX Muscle news update. There was a story that we broke the other day on After Hours about a bodybuilder, bikini competitor, IFBB pro, who was kicked off an airplane in Dallas because they said she was dressed inappropriately. And we kind of covered the story. It was the bodybuilder we're talking about, or the athlete we're talking about, is Deniz Saypinar, and she she was asked to actually leave the plane, and she had to be rebooked on the plane. And we were trying to debate what was going on and what possibly happened, and we didn't really know the story, so we contacted Deniz and we asked if she'd come on the show, and we got her here today. Thank you for joining us, Deniz.
Thank you so much for the interview.
Oh no, it's my pleasure. It's interesting because I hate when these big corporations quote their policies, but the policies are never enforced uniformly. They kind of like target people, and I really believe. And you're going to tell me the story because I don't know the story. I really believe that you were personally kind of, picked out because you're a good-looking girl. Okay, if you were ugly, no one would have said a word to you. And because people were probably looking at you and probably, commenting about, and there's probably one or two people that were uptight about it, and they probably complained. And these airlines are so afraid in today's society about upsetting anyone. That's why they did that. But what? Tell us the exact story, because obviously the story was that you were dressed inappropriate. They got you off the airplane. We have the picture. What happened? Give us the whole order of events.
Okay, so I will tell you exactly how it happened. I was flying from Los Angeles to Miami, and there was a layover flight, but it was just 15 minutes between two flights.
Right.
I was already late, and I was trying to catch my flight,
right.
And I was maybe one of the last 4 or 5 person. And then
so you weren't even sitting at the terminal. You actually ran from one plane to the other, basically.
Definitely,
okay.
I didn't even stay more than few minutes. And when I was walking to do scanning to tickets,
yeah.
And then somebody yelled at me from behind, "Ma'am, hey, I cannot take you to the plane because you are literally naked." And
Did you tell them I just got off an airplane? Did they know that you were just on an airplane, the same plane of the same airline?
Yeah. Basically, I already flew from LAX to the Dallas. It's same clothes, it's same airlines,
right?
Same rule. And this has never happened before.
Yeah.
And I was in shock. I thought she's joking because I have a lot of fans around, they make jokes. And then she started to becoming rude and more talking tough.
Right.
And then she's like, "No, I can't let you go into plane because you are literally so offensive and you are naked." And she's like, she talked again and again, like, "You are naked, you are naked." I'm like, I normally wouldn't react too much, but
right.
I felt so weird, I'm not naked. And this is not true. And I had my brown crop top as in the picture.
Yeah.
And then I said, okay, then let's.
Was she upset because it was a little see-through on top? I mean, that's the only thing I can see.
It's not even see-through.
Yeah.
I wasn't wearing bra because I'm coming to Miami and the weather is so hot.
Right.
And to be honest with you, you don't. It's hard to wear a bra all the time.
Right, all right, but she could have asked you, did she ask you to maybe just put a shirt on over? I mean, you had a shirt tied around your waist.
That's
right.
Exactly. And then there was somebody over there, and then I literally covered my butt.
Right.
And then somebody gave me the pink shirt, and then I wear, but it's short sleeve. But basically,
it covered your boobs, so to speak.
Boobs, abs, everywhere. And then And then she said, no, I cannot let you go into plane. I'm like, I cover my body. What's wrong with this?
Yeah.
And then she's like, no, you can't. And then I didn't know what to do. I was trying to check tickets. I couldn't find any flight.
Yeah, you're lucky I wasn't there, because I would have gone nuts on this woman. Because once you put the clothing on, all right, I understand. All right, maybe someone complained, they were offended, whatever. You put the clothing on, now you're covered, you're dressed. What wasn't appropriate at this point for you to get on an airplane?
So that's the point. Like, because I asked her, if I'm naked, what would be good for flight? And then she said, there's a rule. And then I said, please show me your rule. What is the rule? And the rule was saying you can't go into plane with the barefoot or very offensive clothes.
Right.
But if this clothes was offensive, then how could I get from Los Angeles to that point with the same airline, same clothes? My
theory is that Turkey called them up and said, get her. She left us.
Oh, maybe.
Get her.
I can't.
It sounds like you were in Turkey and they were like saying, put a thing over your head,
Yeah, that's the thing. I had like I had like flashbacks. I'm like, no, this is not happening again, because
you left Turkey from being oppressed, and now you're being oppressed again.
It's crazy. And then I was trying to get a new ticket, and then I couldn't figure anything. And then I asked them, and then they said, we already got you ticket. So basically when I was landing to Dallas, it was 8 p.m.
Right.
And then they bought me new ticket for the 5 a.m.
Oh.
So I needed to wait almost 10 hours, right?
Oh my God.
And then at that point, there was any store open, which they already knew this.
Sure.
And so basically they accept me to next flight, right?
Right.
That's why they bought me ticket.
Right. With the same clothes.
Exactly, yeah. Because they knew there's no open place. And then I actually tried my best. I even asked for the airport blanket or something. Yeah. Anyway, so in the morning, everything was all right. I was going to fly.
Yeah.
And then nobody stopped me because of my clothes.
Right. Same clothes. Same clothes, by the way, yeah.
Exactly. And then I scanned my ticket.
Yeah.
I was going to plane, and then they stopped me after I scanned my ticket.
Uh-oh.
And then I said, what happened again?
Yeah.
And then they said, we can't take you to the plane. We had argued. And then I said, you guys bought me this ticket. And you guys already knew that I can't change my clothes.
Right.
You provide me this.
Yeah.
You know? And then we had argued, and they said, we can't take you to the plane. You do whatever you need to do. We are not even gonna buy you any ticket. You're gonna figure your things out.
Wow, I didn't know that.
And then I was like, I couldn't believe it, and I was like so upset, because I said, you guys are not even gonna buy me ticket. Like, this is how it is, because you can't believe this, right? And
this is I'm baffled. I can't even believe I'm hearing this story. This is nuts. This is so much discrimination against you that, you should have a lawyer and you should be suing their asses off at this point.
Yeah, this is what's gonna happen. And then I was waiting, right? And then I was on the phone, and I was trying to get myself ticket, and then I had argued with them, because I said, the first supervisor didn't take me plane because of my clothes, and then you guys bought me another ticket, and then you guys didn't take me the plane again.
Right.
But why did I wait 10 hours then, right?
Sure.
What is the point of it? And then you didn't even stop me because of my clothes. You saw on the screen there was a note from the first supervisor.
Absolutely, that's what it was.
That's why if my clothes was offensive or bad, bad for the families, you would stop me. That's what I told her. And then she's like, she couldn't answer. I made a video, she couldn't answer. I was on the live stream on the Instagram.
Oh, you actually were live streaming this? That's great.
and then while this happening, I was trying to get myself in a new ticket, and then the manager come, And then she said, okay, we're gonna get you a ticket, but you need to cover your body with this blankets. Right. Can you imagine that? What, like,
you should have said, should I put something over my head too, so you can't see my face?
I put all the blanket on my lower body. I covered all my lower body, and another one is in my bag. And then when I go up to plane, I put it on me. And that was the only condition that I can't fly to Miami.
You know what? I hate to say this, and I'm not. If you are an African American woman, they never ever would have done this, because they would have been afraid that they would have had the lawsuits would have been coming because of racial, because of racist policies. But because you were a Middle Eastern woman, now they're taking. They think they can get away with it. This is BS. The fact that you had a jacket on, you were covered up after they asked you to do what you needed to do. That's really. I mean, I really feel for you, because you know what? It's disgusting when I see stuff like this go on. It's disgusting, definitely it is. I'm embarrassed almost to be an American when I see them doing stuff like that to people, because they never would have done this. They did it purposely to you,
you're right.
It's gross.
I think it's a trauma, because I run away from this all my life.
Yeah.
When I was competing in Turkey, it's like, I don't want to go so deep into this, but it is trauma.
I want to hear that.
Trauma.
Yeah, I want to hear, what was it like? I mean, how did you first get involved with even competing in Turkey?
Well, I was so skinny and I was so insecure because my family became separated and I was only child. Oh. And I started to do boxing, and then I became so skinny. And then I saw one day the bikini Olympia champion picture. Uh-huh. And then the Ashley, Ashley Cutwasser.
Wow.
And then I wanted to be like her. And then we competed in same stage 8 years later.
That's awesome. That is awesome. So,
yeah. Now, it was so like? Nice. Be proud.
I don't think any of our fans or myself has any idea. Like, in Turkey, what's the policy? You can't just walk. Can you walk around the street like this in Turkey?
To be honest, there is no certain law.
Right.
But there is really huge social pressure on women, because at the last times I almost become so scared on the walk on the streets.
Yeah.
There is not like, as if you go there as a man, you're not gonna feel anything.
Right.
But when you're a woman and try to live over there, it's really frustrating for me, because last time I couldn't even go to World Championship.
Wow.
And I kicked out from the gyms because I wear gym short.
Right.
And it's a lot of things, and I can't. I don't even want to remember. It's a trauma. I was trying to get over it, and this happened here. I'm like, God must be testing me,
Yeah, no, he is. But you're very strong, and you know what? The things that you've overcome, because people cannot even begin to understand. I went to Dubai, which is a very liberal, Middle Eastern country, back in the 90s, and I went with a bodybuilder by the name of Laura Bass, who was similarly a very pretty girl, looked like you a little bit too. And may she rest in peace. She's not with us anymore. But she was there, and we went to the gym. It was her, and it was all these male bodybuilders. Milo Sarcev, myself. They took us to the gym, and they wouldn't let her work out. They said, "Oh, no." And this is Dubai, and they're pretty liberal there. They would not let her in the gym. She could not train. And she's like, "What are you talking about?" And that's when it hit me. Because, like you said, I'm a man, so I was treated with as royalty there, because I was this big bodybuilder guy. And here she is. She was a pro bodybuilder. I wasn't even a pro, and she was being treated like a piece of trash almost there. And so I completely can relate to what you're going through, and I don't think anyone else understands. And I'm assuming that's why you left Turkey, correct?
Definitely it is. Let me tell you this. All I wanted to do in all my athlete life,
yeah,
I just being in the gym and train hard as much as I can, and compete, it was my only passion.
Right.
And even though I was representing Turkey and I couldn't get any sport, I had to do everything by myself. But put everything aside, I just wanted to be athlete, and I couldn't, sometimes I was training and then I kicked out from the gym, and then because they told me here is not national athlete camp or something. I represent your country,
right.
And I'm your best athlete in this. There are many things like this, and I can't. I mean, I don't. It's really hard.
Yeah, Denise, believe me, I'd rather you represent us. We would be proud to have someone like you he looks like you with a great physique and beautiful face representing the United States.
You.
There are morons for losing you, believe me. And and your road to getting your pro card here was not easy either, because originally in Europe you had to compete with the other organization when the IFBB split, and you had to come back here, and then you got your pro card at the Nationals this past year, which is great. I mean that just tells you how good you are and how single-minded you are at being able to achieve your goals. What was it like to win the Nationals and to get your pro card in the United States?
Oh, it was amazing, because before this, all my competitions, I became second place more than 15 times, I guess.
Oh my God.
And I was at the beginning, the 5, 7, 10, I'm it's okay. I love competing. It's my passion.
Sure.
And then I started to feel bad because I felt so full every time I became second. Right. I'm I'm leaving this federation, I'm not going to compete there.
Right.
And then I competed here, and then I get my first place, which it was, I literally broke the curse.
Yeah.
And that's why I'm here, because I can't truly be myself, and I can't do me, I can't be 100% who am I.
Right.
With all freedom. So I knew if I can be myself, I can be more successful.
Yeah.
What happened, this was what happened in the United States, and that's how I win the show, which it was amazing. It's the best moment of my life.
I mean, and look, we have good bikini pros in this country, but you know what?
I know.
I'm looking at your pictures on your Instagram. I mean, you got 1 million followers. You get 25,000 likes on a picture. That's incredible. I mean, do you realize the scope of people that you reach? It's unbelievable.
Oh yeah, it's so nice, and it's because that was my goal actually. I wanted to show all the people my story, because I was really struggling so hard, and I get no support, and it was really hard. But eventually I could be brave enough to move from Turkey here. I'm really appreciated that there are really good people. They helped me. That's how I could make it. And I started to get result of my hard work here, because my hard work was making sense here.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, you know what? I feel bad that you had to go through this, because you know what? No one wants to go through this discrimination, like this, and especially coming from Turkey. And it's like you're having, like you said, a bad flashback. But you look phenomenal, and you know what? I think this is just going to make you that much more popular. And maybe the big guy upstairs said, "Hey, you know what? We need to shed some spotlight on this woman." And you got it. And you know what? I'm excited to see you compete. Do you have plans to get on stage this year?
I'm not sure about this year, because I've been competing for so long, nonstop.
Right.
Almost 30 competitions in 8 years.
Oh, wow.
And next year, I want to focus better, and I should do better, because now it's better for me to little bit chill down and enjoy my workout without stress.
Right. Where are you? You're living in LA now?
Excuse me?
Are you living in LA now?
Oh, yeah.
Los Angeles?
Yeah.
Where do you train over there?
Well, I go a lot of gyms because I do make content. But when I was competing, I was going to Team Zero Gravity Gym, or sometimes I train in Equinox, Cost Fitness. Yeah.
Do you ever head down to? Is Venice Gold's even open? I don't even know if they're even open anymore.
Oh yeah, it's been too long. I haven't been there because of the pandemic.
Right.
I wanted to go there one day again.
And people don't realize the traffic is so bad over there that like no one wants to drive around. Like going from LA to Venice is like, you know, that can take you 3 hours if you go the wrong time of the day, right?
It's especially now traffic getting worse in Los Angeles.
Well, I want to just thank you for joining us today, telling us the real story of what happened. And like I said, I really hope you sue the airlines, and I hope you get a big settlement, because you know what? Shame on them for what they did to you.
Yeah, I will do it. I'm talking with my lawyer now. So I'm about to go back to Los Angeles. We're going to figure things out.
All right. Well, thank you, Denise. You look great.
Thank you so much for the opportunity.
No, this was awesome. I'm glad. I wanted people to know the real story, because I didn't really know the real story. And I'm glad you agreed to do this. And like I said, I hope to see you maybe on an Arnold Classic stage in 2022.
Okay. Thank you so much.
All right, guys, that's going to take us to the end of this episode. I'm Dave Palumbo with another RX Muscle News Update.